Recently, our production crew got the opportunity to compare the performance of the most popular motorcycle lifts for big wheels 700-pound touring bikes on the market today. We put lifts from Harbor Freight, Pitbull, and J&S Jacks through the most common uses you want one of these things for. As you will see, the results were very surprising, and based on the way these units physically look and the reviews you hear out there on the net, their performance is not necessarily what you might think. The Harbor Freight unit offers a distance between its lift beams of 14 3/8 inches, a maximum lift elevation of 16.5 inches, and a minimum beam height of 5 inches. The Pitbull lift offers a distance between its lift beams of 15 inches, a maximum height elevation of 23 inches, and a minimum height of 4 inches. The J&S Jacks unit offers a distance between lift beams of 17 inches, a maximum lift elevation height of 18.5 inches, and a minimum height of 4 inches. The Harbor Freight lift appears to be a real value in that it looks sturdy, well finished, ergonomically designed. It has all the stuff the other Jacks do, like a hydraulic bottle, and wheels, and a fancy yellow shiny paint job. And heck, it's only $100. The Pitbull lift is a beast that appears so overbuilt one would think that it could support a Mack truck. Its massive presence, large footprint, and 110-pound weight leaves a lasting impression on you in the showroom. It's like the sumo wrestler of motorcycle jacks, big, gnarly, and badass. We couldn't wait to get that red and black beauty under our all black and chrome big tire Harley. The J&S Jacks lift is very compact and impressively designed. Its sexy black textured finish, smooth corners, and small footprint left us a bit bewildered. Compared to its competition, it's like looking at a lean-cut dancer that could just take you out if you cross them the wrong way because they are in such awesome physical condition. Its beautiful artisanship is a tribute to American quality and craftsmanship. This one sets the standard once you take a closer look. Some of the best welding work money can buy. But how will it stack up to everyone else? Let's take a look. Our first test was to see how well the Jacks rolled a bike around the average cement floor in our average garage and shop. As you can see, the Pitbull unit had some difficulties going over small divots and cracks in the floor. This was due to two primary design factors: the clearance distance from the bottom of its frame to the floor, and because the extra long frame bows in the center under heavy loads like our Harley. Our analysis of this behavior discovered that because of the unit's extra long 46-inch frame, combined with leverage caused by the severe angle the lift arms remain at even when fully elevated, these design issues come together to cause bowing downward along the length of those primary support rails, which further reduces the unit's ground clearance. As you can see, the J&S Jacks unit rolls right over these types of imperfections without a problem. This is because its frame is 9 inches shorter in length than the Pitbull and utilizes taller, stronger rail components, combined with the fact that the support cage is almost completely vertical when fully elevated, virtually eliminating the downward leverage created by other designs. These factors all come together to create a frame that is substantially more rigid and stable overall. Our next test was to see how easy it was to work on our bike once it was up off the ground. Cleaning your bike while it's up on the jack, while sitting on a stool, is probably what you will use your jack for more than anything else, so let's see how they do. The Pitbull jack is fairly sturdy. However, you will notice how bouncy the bike is as it's being lifted. This is due to its less than super rigid frame design. The structure is actually flexing against the weight of the load. Probably our biggest disappointment with the Pitbull is the thing that we thought made it the superior product for big bikes: its physical size. As we found out, the lower frame design sticks out so far into our work area that it makes basic cleaning, maintenance, and storing your bike less than optimal because of having to work our way around its large base frame. Again, this is primarily due to two things: the angle the support cage remains at when fully elevated and the length of the unit's base. The J&S Jax unit is a completely different animal. When working on the bike while fully elevated, the lift's base frame is almost completely out of our work path. And the stool rolls along unobstructed so we can get to all those nooks and crannies at a comfortable work position. When storing your bike for off-season up against the wall, the J&S Jax unit allows for a safer and far less obstructed walking space in front of the bike. It's important to point out that the Harbor Freight product was so unstable with the touring bike payload that we did not feel secure in lifting our $28,000 demonstration Harley up on it at any height, much less moving a bike around on that jack while elevated. Aside from the obvious safety issues with that lift, which are clearly demonstrated in our stability test, the casters on the thing are made of steel and sound like fingernails on a chalkboard as you move the jack around, even without a payload. So you won't see us demonstrating the yellow one on most of our tests, no thanks. The Pitbull lift elevates your bike securely and offers 3 locking height positions. You can see how the engineering used in this product actually causes the entire base frame to flex and distort to a point where the wheels are coming off the ground. This is no bueno, amigo. Thank goodness some genius engineered a big bike lift properly, and those are clearly the geniuses at J&S Jax. As you can see, their structure is extremely rigid, thus eliminating the bouncy flex behavior that plagues the other designs. Certainly one of the greatest features of a bike lift is its ability to safely move your bike around with ease and agility. What we discovered in this test was equally as surprising. The J&S Jax design is a dramatically better engineered product for 4 primary reasons. Each primary beam in the base frame structure incorporates a superior geometry and is crafted from stronger materials using a design that is substantially less susceptible in its center to downward vertical distortion. Reason 2. The lift arms are slightly shorter, which radically reduce the amount of downward leverage these arms create while moving through their lift cycle. Reason 3. The lift arm assembly rests at an almost completely vertical position when fully elevated, thus eliminating additional downward leverage to the base frame. Reason 4. The width between each lift skid is 17 inches, which reduces the bike's horizontal leverage to the lift assembly. Simply put, the J&S Jax lift is engineered better than any other product of this type, period.